So I wanted to start by kind of talking through the digital process. So I had this picture and I clicked the remove background, and then some things I had to add back. So for example, Asante socks, I needed to click in, make sure they were added, um, click in more pieces. It's not that important that I have everything just right. Um, for example, I could have fine-tuned, like taking out this bit, maybe adding in that bit that I forgot, and that kind of thing. But I got the background out, and so we were left with this. And right now this size is about a sixth of the width that I need for my wall space. So that factor is useful. Okay. Then I went ahead and changed the color. I'll right click for that picture. I did a sepia, and then I had to increase the brightness a lot. I kind of wanted to wash it out a little so that it didn't overwhelm the books. All right. So I did that, and the next thing I did was to overlay the books themselves. And so when placing in the books, the thing that you have to keep in mind, two things: how you want to how you want to have the spacing, and also dealing with the size. So first, I dealt with the size. My print space. So my biggest book, which I think horizontally was this book here. I needed it to be able to print. So it kind of had to be if I'm printing an 8.5 by 11 page, I think this slide is like 10.5 by 7.5 or something, or 10 by 7.5, something like that. I think it has a half-inch margin on each side, if you think about the printable page. So I needed this width to take up most of the printing page because I wanted that. So that ended up being a factor of 6, and we'll get back to that. So then I just made sure that no book was wider than this book going in, and you can see I have a book that doesn't even do anything down here, and I think I ended up not using this book down here either. So I colored all these books sepia, but I didn't change the brightness in any of them. I kind of wanted them to have a little bit of divergent feel to them, not all be so standardized. And then I wanted to make sure I covered kind of the important features, making sure I got most of faces and things like that, and Naya's feet sticking out, stuff like that. And I also kind of wanted it to be a little more sparse than the other one. So kind of these pieces all here kind of disappearing. Once I did that, I brought the picture forward. And it should do that soon. Okay. Brought it in front of the books. And then I went ahead and brought the transparency up, you can see here. So because I wanted to be able to see kind of the text through the picture of the kids. I just like that effect. And then from here, what I did was I duplicated the page. So this is the process that I did for each one from here. Takes me a minute. Okay, so I duplicated the page. Should probably go ahead and bring this to the back again. Sorry about my slow computer. Oops. Okay, yeah, high quality here. Okay, so I send this to the back. Oh, so slow. Okay. Okay, so after that, I go ahead and focus on one book. So I'm going to select all the books that I don't need and just delete those. Now that's why I duplicated. Obviously, I wouldn't want to just undo all the work that I did before. And now I double click on this one and I go to crop. And in about a day and a half, once my computer figures out what I'm trying to do, it may someday crop. Anyway, so what I'm going to be doing here is bringing the corners of this picture of the kids down to, cropping the corners down to, and for me it snaps to the book. And once I have that, and I'm going to do the same thing for each one. So I did Anaya, and then in the next step I just moved on to the next one. Of course I need to put, oops, need to put Anaya back in front of the book. And now I'm going to take all those, group them. Right. So now I have this group, and I'm going to double click, and I needed to multiply by 6. So 1.43 times 6, 18, working on my math skills here. Looks like maybe 8.56. All right, and I'll make sure that that's checked. So 8.56. Whoopsie. So, okay, awesome. So just making sure that that's grouped before we do that. And that's clicked. Try again, 8.56. You might want to move it to the corner before, but it doesn't really make much difference. Move it so that it's all in the printable space. And then you repeat the process for all the other books. And that's it. That's the way this works. So now I have this printable space, and then I go on into the physical application.